Hello everyone, in this video we'll be discussing the C major 7 arpeggio in the C caged form. Now, we should talk a little bit about what a 7th chord arpeggio is. And just like in the minor pentatonic course, where I showed how we could think of scale construction along a single string, we'll do the same thing here. I'm going to play a C major 7 arpeggio on just the second string starting from the note C. And we'll talk a little bit about the interval construction and the theory behind this before we get into the actual forms. So the first thing is a C root up to the third, which is 4 frets away. This is the note E. That's a major third. And then we go up 3 frets again to the note G. That's a minor third. Now that is a major arpeggio, major chord construction. It's a 4 fret distance or major third followed by a 3 fret distance or a minor third. Major third, minor third creates a major triad. Now, this course is really dealing with 7th chords, so we're going to stack one more note on top. Sometimes this is referred to as stacking thirds because we're playing notes that are 3 notes away from each other within the C major scale. So, at any rate, if we play 1, 3, 5, in the case of a major 7 arpeggio, the next interval is another major third. It's a 4 fret distance to the B, which is the major 7th. It's the 7th of the major scale. Take a listen to this scale. That's the 7th, or so-called leading tone. The first, third, 5th, and 7th of the major scale create a major 7 arpeggio. Now, what we're going to do in this course is we're going to map those tones across the fretboard within the caged shapes. So this first shape is based on the C major chord in open position. If I play a basic C major chord, I raise the first finger to include the B, which is the 7th, as you can see on the diagram below. I'll have 1, 3, 5, 7, and I'm going to add the 5th up on top, just for a little bit more sound, a little bit more density. So this is the basic chord that we're going to be working with in this position. You could easily play the E on top as well. Really, any configuration of the tones in this position will qualify as a C major chord. I'm going to stick to root position chords where the lowest note is C, or the root. But as long as you have the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th in any combination, it really qualifies as a C major harmony for the purposes of accompaniment or for your backing tracks. If you're making them on a looper, any of these notes in combination will do as long as those 4 tones are present. Okay, I have a C major 7 chord on the looper. Let's take a listen to that, and we'll play the sheet music example, the arpeggio from the low E, which is the 3rd, up to the G, which is the 5th, and back down. We'll do it a couple of times. Let's play together. 1, 2, ready, and... One more time. Okay, so next we're going to hear a little improvisation within the arpeggio. I'm going to stick exclusively to chord tones, and I'll try to be inventive in terms of phrasing and rhythm and contour because our note choices are so limited. Once in a while I'll pause and I'll just call out the chord tones so that you can really hear what the note sounds like embedded in the harmony. So, simple kind of thing. 7th, 7th up an octave. Let's hear the 3rd up an octave, and the 5th. So we're going to move on to the next form. I think on these, just see if you can look at the note names, the arpeggio numbers, the chord degrees, and go ahead and play around with combining the tones to create your own chord voicings. There are actually quite a few possibilities, even in this position, in terms of chord voicings, especially if you include chords where C is not the lowest note, or in other words, a note other than C is in the lowest position, a so-called inversion. I don't want to go too deep into that right now because I have another course on 7th chord inversions that dovetails with this arpeggio course. But really we're looking at something sort of like two sides of the same coin when we look at arpeggios and chord inversions. Okay, on to the A form.